Pardon me, why don't you come over here? I need to ask you something quickly, my dear. Why do you always settle for something less? You know that, baby, you deserving the best. Yeah, yeah. Go take a look up in the mirror. You gotta see a little clearer. Who's that woman looking right back? And she's a beauty queen, bad, bad. You ain't nobody's number two. These men, they should be fighting over you. No second guessing what I'm saying. Baby, you can take this to the bank and make it sweet. It's time to listen to yourself right now. Make it sweet. Don't even listen to these guys right now. Make it sweet. Let's trash your very deep inside right now. Make it sweet. So go and see what you can find right now. Don't you know you're not just some other girl? There's no one like you anywhere in the world. You have a strength like nothing I've ever seen. You're like a woman ripped right out of my dreams. Yeah, yeah. Go take a look up in the mirror. You gotta see a little clearer. Who's that woman looking right back? And she's a beauty queen, bad, bad. You ain't nobody's number two. These men, they should be fighting over you. No second guessing what I'm saying. Baby, you can take this to the bank and make it sweet. It's time to listen to yourself right now. Make it sweet. Don't even listen to these guys right now. Make it sweet. Let's trash your very deep inside right now. Make it sweet. So go and see what you can find right now. It's time to make.
Hey, what's up, my sacred family? So I had to bring it. I had to bring it to the YouTube. Let's move it on up. Let's move it on up. I had to bring it to the YouTube because I was trying to bring a word to the Bigo, but it wouldn't let me play the video. This video right here, we're about to learn and see the patterns of what's going on in our presidential crowd right now. I don't know what to call them, regime, and we're gonna see the patterns right now. So I think this is a very important time for us to learn this. And if you haven't checked me out, check me out. I am your girl, Coach Ravel J. Okay, but I wanted to get in something a little deeper today. Now, I have been noticing that there's a lot going on with the policing. Okay, and it seems like the more there's an uproar, the more there's a pushback, okay, for policies that we want to see for our lives, the things that we should have a say for our lives. Here we come with the government doing their policing. Now, a lot of people of the younger generations, our generation, did not learn what policing was and how serious it was for our ancestors and what begetted this. So I want to do a little bit of topic and researching and see if you see the patterns, okay, from what's going on today and what we are learning from the history. Now, I want you to take the gems out of this. I want you to take the jewels out of this, okay? Now, of course, we're going to be fast forwarding. We're going to be getting through this video because this video is an hour long, but it has a lot of information. Now, I can't give it all. I can't give it out to you, but I do want you to check this guy out, Prince Shakur, okay, and the Security Culture 101, Tools of the State of Surveillance and How Organizers Resist. So we're going to jump into this. You'll see me jumping in and out. You'll see the video changing. And then we're going to do a comparison to see what we are seeing in these day and ages. It feels like there's a lot of people in the president's camp wants to rule by the force of fear. But guess what, people? God has not given us the spirit of fear, but he has given us what? Power. So I suggest to my people, it's time to what? Call back your power, because we have given this machine too much power. We have given them away too much power. When you give up your sovereignty, we see other things happen. So now I had already did a video of this. It was like 17 minutes long. It was cold with it, but I had to come back because it didn't have the sound. So of course, when you got a message to get out, it's going to have something in some way to try to stop you and block you. But do you stop? No. Do you stop smiling? No. Do you stop glowing? No. Because you know what? No matter what trickery or same game with different faces that they play, we've been here before. We have conquered this. And guess what? We're going to learn a little more. So let's jump into it. Give me your ear. Give me your ear. Give me your ear, okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Most of all, comment. Let me know where you at. Okay, so I'm gonna jump down here. I'm with you. Let's go.
Uniforms, patrol cars, someone stopped or arrested. But policing is bigger than that. In this episode of Direct Action 101, we're digging into the surveillance side of the state. The less visible, more constant ways we're watched and tracked every day. From your phone's location data, to Ring doorbells in your neighborhood, to facial recognition at protests and beyond, surveillance has become a part of everyday life. And it's not just about preventing crime, it's about control. It's about manufactured consent. This technology didn't fall from the sky. It's funded by governments, sold to police departments, used to target the same people the system always has. Black folks, undocumented folks, poor...
Pay attention. Please pay attention to the definitions in the videos. That's what I'm asking. Pay attention, because I want to see if you can see what I see.
Folks, organizers, and beyond. Surveillance is a pillar of modern policing, and to understand policing and how we can protect ourselves from the ways that the state tries to curb against our privacy and so dissent in movements.
Keyword policing. Okay, I'm done, y'all. I'm done. Hold on.
We have to understand how it watches, categorizes, and punishes, even when no one's wearing a badge. Welcome to Security Culture 101, Part 2, The Tools of the State.
It's not really an innocence as much as it is also a global perspective that's pretty extraordinary. There's simply no way to predict that this revolution will come to an end. What will be next?
I'm really glad that folks have enjoyed part 1, and part 2 is going to be a little bit more of an extension. We're going to be talking about the tools of state surveillance, the mechanisms that go into these tools, how these tools work, whether it be drones, whether it be CCTVs, whether it be social media scrubbing, whether it be physical surveillance, infiltration, entrapment, so many other things. And I've done so much research into this video. All of these videos, I've done so much research. So if you want to show some love, go to the comments, hit the notify button, because that helps boost this channel. And after part 1, this video felt necessary as well, because some of this is about the logic of policing. Some of this is about the industry and infrastructure of policing, all of the money that goes into carcerality and surveillance. It's a massive industry in the US and globally, especially now as there's rising fascism. Because, I mean, look at the weaponry stocks post this most recent Nakba against the Palestinian people. So it's important to think about all of those things when deciding how we want to operate on a security culture level within our own framework, based on the surveillance that you're facing, based on the ways that different modes of surveillance can detect or gain information from you. You react and resist accordingly. And that's what this video is going to be about. So this video is going to be helpful for folks that got like a base level of knowledge from the first video, but want to dig in deeper. And it's also going to be helpful for folks that have some kind of sense of what security culture is, some kind of sense of the different ways that the state can survey us, but maybe you don't know about the specifics and you want to dig into it more, and you maybe want to use this as a resource to help folks around you. And in part 1 of this video, I really want to dig into what is policing and the illusions of the logic around policing. The law enforcement.
Now I want us to really pay attention and catch this, okay? Catch the mannerism, catch the actions, really observe this, okay? Because then I want to show you something else.
Enforcement officer approaching the group. The nightstick, the uniform, creates a hostile, menacing image.
If it's my car, It's really my mother's car.
Unnecessary physical contact further escalates the sense of hostility.
Where's your permit?
Oh, it's in my other pants, man.
Where's your other pants at?
In my closet.
You don't look like you have. Hey, get off the car. Get your hand off the car. Get off the car. Get off the car. Off the car.
This arbitrary and threatening attitude is seen as further proof of hostility.
Get off. What do you got to do with it?
No more.
I'm with you. Back off the car. Get off the car. Off the car.
Let's sit on it. Get off the car.
Hey, tell me you tell this man that
Get off. Come on, man.
Let's go. Get off the car, punk.
When viewed through the eyes of the group, it is therefore no surprise that this interpretation may result in the situation.
On a socio-political level, we are born and raised in a world where we're taught either police fucking hate you because you're black, you're trans, whatever, so be careful, say yes sir, no sir, don't end up like these horror stories throughout history, which is that police in the state exist to exercise a monopoly on violence. So manufactured consent, crisis, and surveillance become normal. As a qualification for citizenship, this is why knowing the tools of the state and state surveillance helps us in making movement stronger. Or you're taught that like police are there to protect you. Like if you're not doing anything wrong, right? Like what's the big deal? Like what's the big deal?
And slave patrols, it's important to understand the slow development of the state intervention in maintaining slave society, beginning with simply passing laws that would restrict the activities of the slaves, and then laws on their own being insufficient, authorizing any adult white man to enforce those laws, but then the reliance on individual action proving insufficient, forming into this body called the slave patrols that were an offshoot of the militia and worked as kind of a voluntary compulsory organization, meaning that participation was mandatory, but it wasn't a professional outfit. That provided a way of making the entire white male population directly involved in maintaining slave society. As
it will make the white man's population directly involved, hold on, let's see it correctly, let me get the screen clear, directly involved in maintaining slave society. Maintaining.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins. Groups are on the streets of Washington, D.C. to help.
Now let's get started on something else. We're going to take a jump. Okay, now we just learned what policing is, okay? Let me bring it up, what policing is, but listen to what we're hearing in the National Guard's troops on the street of Washington, D.C.
Carry out President Trump's unprecedented plan to take over policing in the Capitol. Scott McFarland asks D.C. residents how they feel about the whole thing.
One day after President Trump announced his plan, National Guard troops were deployed to D.C. streets Tuesday night, joining nearly 900 federal agents and officers that have taken post around Washington, alongside local police who are now under the authority of the Trump administration. In D.C.'s Anacostia neighborhood, Ron Moten says crime has long plagued his community, but he and others are skeptical this is a good idea.
They're tired of violence. I get it. But my only caution is one thing can lead to the next thing. You can take over our police department today, and we wake up and you take over our city.
They may not give it back.
They might not give it back.
Top Department of Justice officials, including the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, met with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser yesterday, while the White House defended the 30-day takeover.
We are removing as many criminals from the streets, and we are cleaning up D.C. as best as we can.
Now, when we say we need to clean it up, okay, they misconstrue what us, the people, say as cleaning up. No, we mean like cleaning up y'all acts. And where you at for where you're working for us. You know what I mean? Now, it's supposed to be there are the representatives of our voices, but who are we choosing? What entities or what deities are we really choosing? Now, if they choose to use our words and turn it and twist it against us, then we can kind of pick up on a pattern of where this is going, right? Now, we just learned what policing is, and we just heard that new anchor from D.C. say what? It is policing.
And working with the Metropolitan Police Department to do that.
Darrell Gaston has seen the violence up close.
reveal a deeper logic, one rooted in coercion, punishment, and the defense of state power, especially against the poor, the racialized, and the politically active.
Now you see, she said, what? We are working with the police. And what does this say? Policing isn't about safety, it's about control. The everyday tactics and routines of the police work reveal a deeper logic, one rooted in coercion, punishment, and the defenses of state power, especially against who? The poor, the racialized, and the politically active. We do have political prisoners, right?
The things that I want to read about from Police: A Field Guide is how they talk about pain
if he complies with what I'm doing. If we stick here and hurt him, the response to that is responding violence. When I tell him get down, I make a verbal contract with him that if he complies with what I'm doing, I will take away the pain.
Whoa. This is where I think political reading is so useful. Like when I read this, I was just like, oh, that's literally how I saw police, but I didn't really know that there was a phrase for it. In Police: A Field Guide on page 61, it reads, pain is the adjective that clarifies police power. According to Samir Ezimer, the criminal justice system is unfathomable without pain. Without pain, police have no authority. The police inflict pain.
Oh, did you hear that? Without pain, the police have no authority. So when you see our president, okay, let me knock this out so you can see the definition. When you see our president and those constituents and vice presidents that works to say, oh, it looked like they ready to come for us. Oh, they ready to go at it. Okay, and we're going to bring it to them. Oh, or this can happen when they subliminally threaten the people that they're supposed to be working for, right? Then it goes into the pain compliance. Okay, and what is that? According to Samira Ishmael, the criminal justice system is unfathomable without pain. Without pain, police have no authority. Wow. The police inflict pain and are the sole authority to relieve it. And this serves as the same legitimating purpose at the heart of criminal justice. Openly sanctions the inflictions of regulated pain. Law endorses the pain police imposes. So they endorse abuse. What do you know? Let's keep going.
And are the sole authority to relieve it. And this serves the same legitimizing purpose at the heart of the criminal justice. Law, Ezimer argues, openly sanctions the infliction of regulated pain. Law endorses the pain police impose. Pain is instrumental to another purpose, compliance. Police use pain to modify behavior. Pain makes non-compliant subjects compliant. For police, pain is depicted as a discrete tool or technique administered on non-compliant subjects. The police threaten and produce suffering, and therefore produce the suffering subject, a subject who does not exist outside this relation. Only a sufferer can be the proper subject of police power, and only police can measure suffering. It is equally the job of the police to impose pain as it is to measure its effectiveness. And since, to police, pain is always effective at creating compliant subjects, pain is not present if compliance is not achieved. Consider what this implies. Police claim the power to administer pain in order to create suffering, and also claim the power to unerringly interpret another's suffering. It implies that the police have secret knowledge of another person's consciousness. And this goes on to talk about, this includes the use of
a secret knowledge of other person's consciousness? Wow. Okay, let's continue to keep learning.
Pepper spray and tasers, the hog-tying of suspects, and the hyper-flexing of their joints. In the case of Eric Garner, the chokehold. Eric Garner died in a chokehold while saying over and over again, "I can't breathe." The officer did not loosen the chokehold because it was the police officer, not the subject of the pain compliance, who measures the pain.
Maximum strength should be directed against a point of minimum strength. The finger lock, more effective than a strenuous counter-assault. Despite physical appearances, always assume that your adversary possesses greater strength. Then use your strength to direct movements. By pulling when he pushes, pushing when he pulls, it is possible to use the adversary's strength and momentum to your own advantage.
I really cannot tell you how much this explanation blew me away, because it makes me think about corporal punishment. It makes me think about Black families and discussions that we have about whipping your children and not using the master's tools to defeat the master's house. How violence operates on a socio-political and an interpersonal level. Sometimes it is to force a kind of compliance, especially when I think about masculinity, when I think about gender, when I think about patriarchy. But when we reel it back to this, it really shows us that we look at it from so many perspectives. We can look at it from the racialized perspective, from the eugenicist perspective, the idea that Black bodies literally don't experience pain or experience less pain. The fact that there are certain kinds of people that are uncivilized in the eyes of the state or white supremacy or the white ethno-state, and that therefore makes their bodies more susceptible to pain. I mean, think about kids being locked up in cages, not giving time. This really leaned into the state rebranding dissent as a political riot or threat, which therefore justifies more surveillance. The U.S., I mean, what do we got? What do we got? We have the 2020 uprisings, which were a massive response to the police murder of George Floyd, where millions protested around the U.S. This led to drones being used by Customs and Border Patrol to fly over Minneapolis protests. It led to protesters being tracked by facial recognition software like Clearview AI. It led to the FBI and the DOJ filing charges against hundreds of protesters. And this really was a period of time where I think, since the public was trying to push back against defunding the police, it's like the boomerang effect. It's only a matter of time until they go the opposite direction. I mean, 2020 happened, Biden was president, the liberals and the progressives and the Democrats were, oh my God, we care, let's fight for reform. And then you put in Kamala to try and win against Trump. And then now Trump is in office and all this AI shit is happening and crypto's going up. And so now I think we're really in a period of time where I think we have to be worried about AI. We have to be worried about drones, and we have to be worried about how AI and tech and predictive policing is going to continue to confirm the biases of the white ethno-state that we live under. And I've talked about it in other videos. I've talked about Clearview AI. I've talked about facial recognition and detection. I've talked about...
Now, he says AI allows the state to scale repression without visibility, increasing manpower. Algorithms can scan thousands of faces at protesters, flag anomalies in the digital behavior, or automate border control decisions. It can automate border control decisions. But when harm happens, false arrests, bias targeting, blacklist, blame is deflected to the system, not the humans behind the system. What do you know? What do you know?
Elon, what different companies want to do. Just as radicalism is a continuum, state violence is a continuum. So are you gonna go this way or this way when it comes to state violence? Are you gonna fight it, or are you gonna be part of the continuum that is afraid? Or are you gonna be part of the continuum that is rising up? Fuck Quinto Pro. Fuck Pegasus. Fuck fusion centers. Fuck you. We're fighting back. When we talk about policing, I think it's important to understand that there's inconspicuous surveillance, inconspicuous surveillance. And sometimes police and the state try to survey you inconspicuously, obviously for clear reasons, like they don't want you to know that they're listening so you don't change up your behavior. But conspicuous surveillance, according to the War at Home book that I was reading, this is from 1999. It's called War at Home, Covert Actions Against U.S. Activists and What We Can Do About It. The FBI and police blatantly watched activists' homes, followed their cars, and opened their mail and attended their political events. The object was not to collect information, which is done surreptitiously, but to harass and intimidate. And so it's important to think about in this whole game of surveillance, whether or not states surveying you or blah, blah, blah. They could be trying to do conspicuous surveillance, or they could be trying to do inconspicuous surveillance. And it really depends on what social and political conditions you're facing.
Situation calls for tear gas.